What's going on, guys? So I just found out today that the pricing, performance specs, and all of the options have just been revealed for the 2017 CAMARO ZL1. Why don't we go take a drive and talk about it? You gonna be a good boy? I'll be back soon. And deafening start. Alrighty, so the 2017 CAMARO ZL1. I was in bed this morning and I was basically looking through Facebook, and like 2 or 3 people tagged me in an article from different CAMARO websites, basically revealing all this information about the new ZL1. And there are 3 different specs that stood out that were advertised, and that was horsepower, 0 to 60 time, quarter mile time. The horsepower originally was thought to be rated at 640 and 640 torque. Well, it's now 650 and 650 torque, and honestly, it's not very surprising because I actually thought it was going to have more than the current Corvette Z06, only because when the 5th gen ZL1s came out, they had way more horsepower and torque than the 6th gen Corvette at that time. You know, that Corvette had the 7-liter, the LS7 engine, which had the 500 horsepower, 500 pound-foot of torque engine, and you know, the ZL1 had 580 horsepower and 556 torque. So I thought maybe this time they would do something similar, especially seeing as it looks like Corvette's making a ZR1, so that'll have even more power, I'm assuming, I don't know. Another spec that stands out is the 0 to 60 time, which is done in 3.5 seconds, which is crazy. And that's done with the 10-speed auto. I'm not sure what it's gonna be with the 6-speed manual. It'll probably be somewhere around 3.7 seconds, 3.8, something like that. But without a guarantee, that 10-speed auto is gonna be mad fast. Now, they did release a quarter mile time as well, and that's done in 11.4 seconds, and I believe at 127 miles an hour, which is a huge jump from the 5th gen. That's over half a second jump. And the 5th gen did the quarter mile in like 12 flat, 12.1 at like 120 miles an hour, I think. So yeah, it's definitely faster, and I think that has to do with, obviously, this car is now 220 pounds less than the previous generation ZL1, and it also has, you know, 70 more horsepower than the previous gen ZL1 and 100 more torque, pretty much. So more power, more torque, less weight, faster transmission, obviously results in faster straight line speeds. Those performance numbers in general have already reached, if not surpassed, multiple supercars nowadays. Let's talk about handling though. This car will pull 1.02 lateral Gs of acceleration, and that is insane that a quote-unquote muscle car is pulling over a G on their corner. I mean, like I said, nowadays there aren't even supercars that are capable of that performance. And they didn't even really change the tires. The tires are still the same size, front and rear, as the previous gen. They're still Goodyear Eagle F1s. They're just a new generation of the supercar tire. Still 20-inch rims. The brakes are bigger in the front than the previous gen ZL1, as well as the rear brakes. The rotors are bigger. The calipers are still Brembo, 6-piston front, 4-piston rear. Another cool feature this car does have, and I'm just gonna mention it here real quick now that I'm thinking about it, is the car has a built-in line lock and rolling burnout mode, which is just badass. So I was watching a video of it and I was reading up an article about it, and basically how it works is you press the brake with a certain amount of, you know, PSI or pressure, and it activates, if you're in a certain mode, it activates the line lock system. And what that does is, if those of you that know what a line lock is, it locks the front brakes, but lets the rear brakes unlocked, So when you're doing a burnout, like basically a brake stand is what it's really called, you're not really messing with your rear brakes. You know, on a regular car, you would hold the brake and mash the gas, and sure, your car would stay still, but eventually you're going to be wearing out the rear brakes. With the line lock system, it allows your rear brakes to not be activated. So that's a really cool mode. And then the rolling burnout mode is basically once you let off the brake, we'll say, I think what happens is it launches the car forward gradually. It lets the brakes off. Wow, that was, I don't even know what that guy said. That shit happens to me all the time. People yell at me when I'm driving. People try to look at my car. People try to take pictures of me. People flip me off. People give me thumbs down. It's ridiculous. But anyways, where was I? The rolling burnout mode. So when you let off the brake, I think what happens is basically it gradually lets the brake, the front brakes release, so you get a perfect burnout like brake stand. So I saw a video of it online, and it's pretty sweet. So that is an awesome feature that is included in the new ZL1. So let's talk about pricing. Obviously, one of the things that I really wanted to know was the pricing of this car, and I am happy and pleased to say that the starting price of a ZL1 Coupe, which is pretty much fully loaded, starts at $62,135, and that is crazy, because a car of this performance and at that level, and they haven't really even released Nürburgring times, like lap times and stuff like that. For a car like this to start at $62,000 that can easily compete and beat cars that are well into six figures, that is just insane, and I think that's pretty awesome. Now, they are offering a convertible version, just like they did with the previous generation ZL1, and that starts at, I think, $69,135. So you're looking at about a $7,000 increase if you want the convertible version. As far as performance of the convertible and does this going to offer all the different track modes and suspension modes, I don't think it does, because I was looking at the options sheet, and as the previous Gen ZL1 did, the top speed was limited on the convertible, was limited to 155 as opposed to 184, I believe, in the Coupe. And they didn't have the different performance traction management modes just like the Coupe does. So I think it's going to be the same way with the new Gen ZL1. So you're only going to have certain options. You're still going to have all the horsepower and all the goodies and stuff like that, but you're not going to get the different track modes as you would in the Coupe. I'm trying to talk to you guys right now, and you know, Pennsylvania is known for the retarded ass construction on every single road that you drive on, and there's a detour that's been taking me literally through God knows where it's taking me, but traffic is absolutely terrible. I have no idea why these roads, it looks like they're working on the roads. They're always working on roads, and they seem to always be shitty, so it doesn't make any sense to me. You guys that live in PA, you know what I'm talking about. It's terrible. Alrighty, so now that we've pretty much talked about all the performance specs and pricing, let's talk about some of the options that are available, some new things that are available on the new ZL1 as opposed to the previous Gen ZL1. The first couple things that stand out to me are there is an optional carbon fiber package on the interior that you can get around the console, which was not available on this one that I have. What has stayed similar though is the interior trim. However, about the seats, which is really cool about the new ZL1, they come standard with Recaros, which is really cool. I'm pretty sure the 10-speed auto will probably be an upcharge, just because usually that's how it is, a manual. Then if you want the auto, it's an upcharge. But I don't know really how much that's going to be. Maybe it'll be $1,000, maybe less. I'm not sure. So that is one thing that is definitely an option. Wheel options. So basically, you have two options for wheels. You have a dark gray metallic kind of wheel, and then you have a satin gray metallic, and that's basically, the dark gray metallic is not black. It's not black. It might look black in some of the pictures, but it's not. It's almost like a really, really dark gunmetal type gray, and the other option, the satin, is just kind of like a silver wheel. So I don't know, maybe I'll get the dark gray ones. I don't know, maybe I will. I like the looks of them. I like the looks of the wheels, and I like the looks of them on the car. It makes the car look a little more aggressive. So who knows, maybe I'll change to darker wheels this time. This traffic is absolutely terrible. I've been sitting here wasting gas. I'm on my way to get gas right now. Who knows if I'm even gonna make it. I've got an 1/8 of a tank, so I don't know. I'm just sitting here burning gas because nobody knows how to freaking drive. Oh my God, this is terrible. I went this back way because, you know, it's a nice windy road and it's very relaxing to drive and like do a vlog like I'm doing. But this has just turned out to be a fucking nightmare. My God, I should have just went the highway. Another really awesome thing about the new ZL1 is the fact that you can record yourself going around a track. And what I mean by that is it basically has a camera, okay, right in the center of the dash, pointing straight out over the hood, and it records you going around a track or whatever. It will also use a GPS system to basically map out the track. That's GPS mapping, and that'll display in the corner of the video, as well as your RPM, like a tachometer or whatever. And it also has braking and gas. So like when you step on the brake, it'll show you how much you're stepping on the brake or how much you're stepping on the gas and vice versa. And it also has obviously mile per hour. It has a G-force meter, front, rear, and left and right, which is also cool. And you can record it and it'll save it. And then you can, I don't know, I guess you can upload it or watch it or do whatever, download it somewhere. So yeah, I'm really excited for that option. As far as the exterior of the car, there's not too many things that are really optional or different that you can get. You know, it still has the exposed carbon fiber hood insert, which is cool. There are a few different new colors this year. I know there's one, it's like Arctic Blue Metallic, which is, I think it's like a light blue color. And then there's also another blue color, which is their dark blue color, which is really cool too. I'm probably gonna get red hot just because I'm a red guy and that's the red color option. And I think that color, I've seen it and it is really red. And I like that, it's really flashy and cool. So, I mean, that pretty much does it for most of the options and specs currently that they have on the car. You know, they're very basic, you know, it's 0 to 60 quarter mile time and cornering and stuff like that. So that's pretty much all I can give right now because that's pretty much all I know until I find out some track times or real performance numbers from different companies. But that's really not gonna happen until the cars probably are available at dealerships and stuff like that. And I think they're still looking at like a fall to winter date. So Chevy has done it again and they're gonna keep doing it. And I think this car is gonna kick everything's ass. I mean, especially that price. There's nothing in that price point that's gonna beat it, for sure, nothing. It ain't gonna happen. And if anything does come close to it, performance-wise, it's gonna be like $70,000 to $80,000, guaranteed. You know, they're talking about the GT500 being faster than it and stuff like that. I don't think it'll be faster around the track. I can almost guarantee that. As far as straight line performance, okay, so what? The GT500 is gonna be a little bit faster than it. Who gives a shit? Because you know what? The ZL1 is gonna be probably at least $10,000 to $15,000 less. Like I said, Chevy has made just an awesome, awesome car, and I can't wait to see even more performance numbers from it from the track and things like that. So be sure to follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, like me on Facebook, and as always, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and have a great day.